First of all, I would like to say good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's meeting. I will be presiding tonight. I think I'm going to have to make a new ordinance that the new mayor can't leave town until after a certain period of his term. But we're going to do our best tonight to get the show up and on the road. Before we get started tonight, we have a special recognition, a gentleman who have given so much time to the city of Muscogee's return. And so we want to give him full honor at this time. Doug, if you'll come forward. Congratulations on your retirement. At this time, we're going to have our city clerk who's going to tell us a little bit about Doug.
Doug has been with the Muskogee Police Department for 7.5 years, working as part of the janitorial staff. Reflecting on his time, Doug humbly remarks that there isn't much to say about years of mopping floors and scrubbing toilets. However, he passionately speaks about the incredible men and women he has had the privilege to watch in action. Doug admires the dedication of the Muskogee Police Department, highlighting their constant training to maintain peak mental and physical performance. He is deeply moved by their patience and professionalism, stating that their level of commitment is both incredible and humbling. Doug wishes everyone could share his pride in the outstanding individuals who protect his hometown, Muskogee, Oklahoma. Doug has been married to his wife, Wanda, for 40 years. Together, they have built a loving family, including their children, 10 grandchildren, 1 great-grandchild, and a soon-to-be second great-grandchild. Doug has been running chains at the Muskogee High School games since before he could drive and is known by many as a dedicated OU fan to the core. Thank you, Doug, for all your years of service to the city of Muskogee, and happy retirement.
Doug, on behalf of the City Council, the city staff, we appreciate your years of service to the city of Muskogee, and we want to wish you well in your future endeavors. Would you like to say anything? All right. Let's give it up one more time. All right, at this time, we'll call to order the MMA meeting for June the 24th, 2024. If you stand at this time, we'll have our invocation followed by a flag salute. Dear Lord, once again, we come thanking you for the gift of another day. Just thank you for all the blessings that you've restored on each and every one of us through our lives. Ask that you would just look upon your city leaders tonight. As we come together, we have decisions we have to make. And all those decisions, we want to make sure we do it in your will and in your way. These are many of the blessings we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So bear with us as we're working through a new microphone system, and I'd like to encourage all the counselors, when you get ready to speak, make sure you use that mic. We pay good money for them, so make sure you use them. Okay, Dan?
Especially since you requested them.
All righty. Roll call, please.
Mayor Patrick Cale, Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Here.
Jamie Stout.
Here.
Tracy Hoos.
Here.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Here.
C.B. Abel.
Here.
Melody Cranford.
Here.
Dan Hall.
Present.
Tom Martindale.
Here. Agenda item number 1, please.
Consider approval of MMA minutes of regular session April 22nd, 2024, and special call session May 20, 2024, or take other necessary action.
Reviewing the minutes, are there any corrections or additions to our minutes, or do we have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve our minutes. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 1 passes. Item number 2, please.
Consider approval of MMA claims for the month ending April 30, 2024, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Miller?
Mr. Chairman, you do see before you the claims for the Muskogee Municipal Authority for that period of time. We do recommend approval and are happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Miller about the claims?
I move for approval. Second.
I I have a motion and a second to approve our MMA claims. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
C.B. Abel?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hoos?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 2 passes. Item number 3, please.
Consider approval of MMA claims for the month ending May 31, 2024, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Miller?
Mr. Chairman, likewise, the claims for the month ending May 31st are before you. Do recommend approval, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any questions about the May claims for MMA?
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve our MMA claims for May. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
C.B. Abel?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hoos?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 3 passes. That concludes our MMA agenda. Now we'll go to our MRA agenda. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll go to our MRA, our Muskogee Redevelopment Authority. Meeting is now called to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Patrick Cale, Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Here.
Jamie Stout.
Here.
Tracy Hoos.
Here.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Here.
C.B. Abel.
Here.
Melody Cranford.
Here.
Dan Hall.
Here.
Tom Martindale.
Here. All right. Agenda item number 1 for the Muskogee Redevelopment Authority.
Consider approval of minutes of regular session April 22nd, 2024, special call session May 13, 2024, and special call session May 20, 2024, or take other necessary action.
Minutes are before you. Are there any corrections or additions to our minutes for MRA?
I move for approval. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve our minutes. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
C.B. Abel?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hoos?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 1 passes. Item number 2.
Consider approval of Muskogee Redevelopment Authority claims for April 13, 2024 through June 14, 2024, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, you see the claims before you. We recommend approval, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions about the MRA claims for April and June?
I move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the claims list. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
C.B. Abel?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hoos?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. That is our final item for the Muskogee Redevelopment Authority, so that meeting is adjourned. We will now call to order the Muskogee City Council meeting for June the 24th, 2024. Roll call, please.
Mayor Patrick Cale, Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Here.
Jamie Stout.
Here.
Tracy Hoos.
Here.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Here.
C.B. Abel.
Here.
Melody Cranford.
Here.
Dan Hall.
Here.
Tom Martindale.
Here.
Can I have a motion to excuse our mayor, please?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the absence of Mayor Patrick Cale. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. All right, next item, minutes.
City Council Special Call Session, April 8th, 2024. Regular Session, April 22nd, 2024. Special Call Session, April 30, 2024. Special Call Session, May 13, 2024. Special Call Session, May 2024. Special Call Session, June 10, 2024. And Special Call Session, June 17th, 2024, or take other necessary action.
You have the listed minutes in your packet. Are there any corrections or additions to those minutes?
Move for approval. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. All right, the minutes are approved. So before you, we have the consent agenda, which presents us items 1 through 13. We can approve the consent agenda as presented, or if there are any items that need to be moved to our regular agenda, we'll take that conversation at this time.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve our consent agenda, including items 1 through 13. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. So we'll go to our regular agenda at this time. Item number 14, please.
Hold a public hearing and consider approval of ordinance number 4232A, rezoning the property located at 2109 Ward Street, Southeast, Section 24, Township 14 North, Range 18 East, from R1 Single Family to I1 Light Industrial, and if approved, authorize staff to revise the official zoning map of the city or take other necessary action.
We will now consider ourselves in a public hearing. Mr. King?
Good evening, Deputy Mayor and Council. So just a reminder on this item, this is 1 acre of land on Ward Street, the north side of town, a couple blocks south of Shawnee and a couple blocks to the west of York. The land for the future land use plan suggests the land should be zoned as light industrial or as industrial, and the request is being made to rezone from R1 single family to I1 light industrial, which would conform to the comprehensive plan and future land use plan for the purpose of a commercial storage building. Staff recommends approval. I'll take any questions.
Thank you. We have no one signed up to speak for this item, so with that, I will close the public hearing, but now open the floor for any council discussion on this item, or we have moved for a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item. Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 14 passes. Item number 15, please.
Hold a public hearing and consider approval of ordinance number 4231A to rezone the property located at 2544 South 32nd Street, Southeast Section 4, Township 14 North, Range 18 East, to be rezoned from C2 General Commercial and A Agricultural to I1 Light Industrial, and if approved, authorize staff to revise the official zoning map of the city or take other necessary action.
We will now consider ourselves in a public hearing. Mr. King?
So on this request by Old Dominion Freight Line, they want to rezone those parcels, or that one parcel, it's split zoned, the front half being C2 General Commercial and the back half being agricultural for the purposes of creating a commercial trucking drop yard for them to drop loads in between Tulsa and Arkansas. The future land use plan does not necessarily recommend light industrial in this place, but that's why we're doing the future land use map amendment immediately following this item. So these two items must pass in conjoining factors. There is, just for a reminder, there is proper buffering between the residential district behind it to the east and where the trucks will be dropping them off throughout the day and nighttime. And so we don't see any complications, any potential light or noise ordinance or nuisance that would affect those residential structures. And so if you have any questions, staff will take those, but we recommend approval of this item and the following item.
Thank you, Mr. King. We don't have anyone signed up for to speak on this item, so we will close the public hearing. The floor is now open to the council for any discussion and or a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for item number 15. Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 15 passes. Item number 16.
Hold a public hearing and consider approval of resolution number 2985 to approve a land use map amendment to allow for the property located at 2544 South 32nd Street, Southeast Section 4, Township 14 North, Range 18 East, to be rezoned from C2 General Commercial and A Agricultural to I1 Light Industrial, or take other necessary action.
We will now open the public hearing. Mr. King?
So this is that land use map amendment that I just talked about that needs to go with the rezone. So in order for the rezone to go through completely, this has to be approved as well.
Thank you. No one has signed up to speak for this item, so I will close the public hearing. Floor is now open to the council for discussion or either motion.
I move for approval. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve item number 16. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 16 passes. Item number 17, please.
Hold a public hearing and consider approval of a specific use permit for the property located at 1617B North York Street, or take other necessary action.
We will now open up the public hearing for this item. Mr. King?
So this property is an existing marijuana grow facility. The reason they're having to get a specific use permit is because they're transferring ownership of the business and the property over to a new owner, and our ordinance requires that they come through and get a specific use permit for that purpose. Staff recommends approval. I'll take any questions.
Thank you. No one is signed up to speak for number 17, so we will close the public hearing. The floor is now open to the council.
Move for approval. I second it.
I have a motion and a second for item number 17. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
No.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 17 passes. Item number 18, please.
Hold a public hearing and consider approval of a specific use permit for the property located at 117 North Junction Street, or take other necessary action.
Once again, we will open up a public hearing. Mr. King?
This address is going to be for a new retail marijuana dispensary. They conform with the zoning district that they're in, which is C1 local commercial. Staff recommends approval, and we'll take any questions.
Thank you. There's no one to sign up to speak for this item, so we will close the public hearing, but the floor is now open to the council. Have any discussion? Motion? I'll call for the motion one more time. Call for the motion for a third time. Item number 18 fails because of a lack of a motion to approve. Item number 19.
Consider approval of ordinance number 4237A, amending Chapter 54, Offenses and Miscellaneous Provisions, amending Article 4, Offenses Against Public Peace, amending Division 2, Firearms and Deadly Weapons, adding Section 54-218, Unlawful Discharge of Fireworks Prohibited, providing for codification, repealer, severability, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. This is an item that myself and Councilor Cranford are bringing before you. At this time, I will yield the floor to Councilor Cranford.
Yes, over the last 2 weeks, I have worked diligently with our fire chief and our police chief to try to handle the situation with the fireworks, to make sure that young people are not using these as weapons. And we were out almost all day, the first day of the fireworks sales. And so I think that us declaring this an emergency is something that is very needed for the safety of the citizens of Muskogee. The young people are firing these fireworks at each other. Some fired them at me. And I think that we are going to have to, for our safety's sake, toughen up on our ordinance. I want to thank our fire chief and our police chief for working with me to come to some consensus, because I know that this is something that they wanted to ban. And we've worked diligently together to come to an agreement and see what we can put in motion now, and see if our young people will adhere to it and use these in a safe manner. Again, we don't want to take fireworks from the city. We understand how everybody wants to celebrate on the 4th of July, but we do want people to pay attention to our ordinances and respect our first responders. Thank you.
Thank you. Katrina, do you mind expounding on what this agenda item will bring?
Yes, sir, I will. So what happens with this is we're amending the offenses of illegal or unlawful discharge of fireworks at persons and dwellings, making it a misdemeanor, punishable by law, and up to 6 months in jail and $500 fine. And that is, again, for persons discharging fireworks, or artillery, or any other type of fireworks directly at a citizen or a dwelling. Permitted uses are still available for public parks and city properties. And this is in no way a ban on fireworks. It does not affect what fireworks you're allowed to do in the city.
So what I'm hearing you say is that
it says municipal property, which the streets are municipal property. Are they allowed to fire the fireworks in the front of their house in the street?
Under our current ordinance, they can fire that on their property, and that sometimes involves the street, and then we do have a regulation that they have to clean the street up.
Okay, so there is a street clause in there that they can fire them on the street? Okay.
Yes, in front of their homes, yes.
So, no parks, without a permit, and it's, okay.
Yes.
And I'm just trying to make sure what all we're doing here. So, I definitely do not want to ban fireworks. There's been cities in the last few months that have went back and pulled their bans and they don't even ask for them to even have permits anymore to use their fireworks. So where I think people wanted us to go, some of these cities on that list that we received are now pulling back those bans and those requests for permits to pop fireworks.
Yes, sir. And the only time we require a permit is for on city property, like a city park or hat box.
So what kind of penalties are we looking at for this?
Well, we're looking at a $500 fine if someone discharges a firework at a policeman or another citizen or at their dwelling, at their home. My understanding is in the last couple of weeks there have been homes targeted by artillery-type fireworks. So this would penalize those. Now, the fire marshal under federal law, or under state law, can always bring a felony. So this allows the city to bring a misdemeanor charge. But we can't do anything about whatever the fire chief can do. That's under state law.
So,
And this will allow the police to confiscate fireworks from anyone that's doing that?
Yes,
right?
sir. They can
Okay.
confiscate, they can cite them, bring them to municipal court.
Okay.
All right. So once again, I want to make a couple of remarks on this item. I want to first of all thank the two chiefs, the police chief, the fire chief, and this item comes before you. We did hear your cries, community, last year when we were concerned about the conduct of the misuse of the fireworks. We also did hear the comments of those who want to, pop fireworks. But once again, this is coming before you as a trial run. If we could get it under control, and the cities that Dan mentioned have it under control, we can continue to pop fireworks in our private spaces. I got to talk about Ms. Cranford. She's been going around. She's put Facebook posts out. She's been going out personally on street corners over the last couple of days and trying to stop the kids. Because from tonight, it would be a misdemeanor. If you get caught aiming them at someone, if you targeted someone, it's going to be a misdemeanor if the police get you, as well as they can confiscate your fireworks. Anyone under 18 years old, am I correct, Katrina, are not even supposed to purchase fireworks.
Well, they can actually purchase younger, but they have to have parental supervision
Adult
to use them.
supervision. Yes.
Yes.
So, once again, we're just trying to get control of the situation. We know that, we have family events together. 4th of July is my family time. I have people that come in, but when we have young people who are targeting people, this is very dangerous. And so this is our move to try to get it control in our community so we can keep fireworks as a tradition here in the city of Muskogee. Chief Teehee, do you have any comments you would like to make tonight?
I think you covered everything. Thank you.
All right. And Chief Teehee told me the other day it was two chiefs, the two attorneys, and the two counselors. And Chief told me he's from Missouri, the Show Me State. So I'm encouraging everybody to show the chief that we can use fireworks in a responsible way if we want to continue to have fireworks in our community. With that being said, I will open the floor for any comments or either a motion to address this item.
Can we shorten the time span that we sell fireworks in Muskogee?
Yes, and you can give direction to staff to make amendments to the regular ordinances to shorten the sale time or anything else that you want.
Because we talk about them already starting to pop fireworks and do stuff with them.
Yes.
And I have some elderly people that live around me, and
Right.
they've already come on, Dan, they're already starting to pop fireworks at 11 o'clock at night already. I'm like, okay. So I just didn't know if we could back it up a little bit and say, hey, we're not going to allow you to pop fireworks or sell fireworks for 2 weeks or something only.
We looked into that. We have covered the ordinance, and from June 15th to July 4th is a long time.
Yes.
For them to be sold. So we're looking at doing some preventative things as well. again, this is an emergency. This that we're bringing tonight is just to make sure that for now, we can stay safe until we can maneuver the times of sales and all those things. These fireworks were already purchased, the sale dates were already there, so we couldn't do anything right now. But we can do this to make sure that we all stay safe, and then we're working on changing the dates that they can be sold, changing the times that they can be fired, and doing some other things like proactively in the ordinance. But right now, we just need to stay safe.
Okay, well, like I said, it wasn't in here, so I didn't know that, so.
Katrina, do we have a current ordinance that says when extra fireworks can be fired here in the city of Muskogee?
Yes, it's for a 14-hour period on July 4th only.
Okay, on July 4th only. So
Yes, sir.
with this ordinance, once again, if they pop in tonight, when we declare an emergency, I guess it takes 24 hours for an emergency to go through?
Well, actually, that's on an ordinance that has not been amended or changed. That ordinance already exists,
Okay,
the time limit.
okay. So you're not, parents, just so we can be clear, you're not supposed to even be popping them right now. So I believe, community, you should be pleased. We're trying to take steps, and I think we covered all our grounds in this. So do we have any comments or either a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve item number 19. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
C.B. Abel?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hoos?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Now, at this time, we have to declare an emergency.
Move
Yes.
for approval.
And Katrina, can you just, for the sake of information, what does declaring an emergency mean in this situation?
In this situation, an emergency would be something that's relevant in an emergent situation that needs to be taken care of. So normally, if we do a change to an ordinance or amend an ordinance, it isn't effective for 30 days afterwards. But in this situation, since we just had the recent episode with the fireworks being used as weapons, this is being brought as an emergency to try to curtail any further activity like that is dangerous to citizens.
All right. So this language will go into effect immediately.
Yes.
All right. All right. Once again, I would like to compliment my partner, Ms. Melanie Cranford, for a job well done. And we have before us an emergency. Do we have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for an emergency clause. A roll call, please.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
C.B. Abel?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hoos?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 19 passes. Item number 20, please.
Consider approval of Resolution Number 2958, adopting an amendment to Appendix A of the Muskogee City Code pertaining to the schedule of fines for criminal offenses, or take other necessary action.
Ms. Cranford, would you like to add anything to this one?
Again, I want to say that we're not doing this to hinder anybody, but I think that we need to be cognizant of the fact that these fireworks, using them the wrong way, you should have some consequences for your actions. And I think that us adding some teeth and some meat to this ordinance with the fine will show people that we are serious. We're serious about our citizen safety, about our first responder safety, and this is something that needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Katrina, anything you'd like to add on this one?
I would just like to add that that this change simply puts in a fine or a monetary penalty for the discharge of fireworks in legal manner as set out in the ordinance. So citizens can't fire at weapons at dwellings or persons. And it does establish a fine of $500 for that.
Thank you. Before us, we have presented this item. Do we have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
C.B. Abel?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hoos?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 20 passes. Item number 21, please.
Consider approval of Resolution Number 2995, declaring certain items of city property to be surplus to the needs of the city and authorizing the city manager or his designee to dispose of the same as per the items listed or take other necessary action.
Chief Teehee.
Deputy Mayor and Council, this is a item we spoke with at the last meeting. Weapons that are beyond their use on the street, allows the officers to purchase those back from the department or from the city. Hold it.
There you go.
These, okay.
You just turned it
Turn
off. There you are.
Okay. But we sent it out to bid, just find out about other potential buyers, and the officers will pay more than either of the other two that we got bids on. So that's what this item's about. Be happy to answer any questions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 21 passes. Item number 22, please.
Consider approval of resolution number 2993, adopting a countywide multi-jurisdiction hazard mitigation plan, or take other necessary action.
Ms. Bolden?
Good evening. The City of Muskogee falls under the Muskogee County Multi-Jurisdiction Hazard Mitigation Plan. Muskogee County contracted with MUSAC and Associates who specialize in hazard mitigation plans to update and prepare our plan. MUSAC and Associates held several meetings over the last year where community stakeholders and the public were invited to learn about the plan and provide feedback. The 2024 Muskogee County Multi-Jurisdiction Hazard Mitigation Plan has been prepared in accordance with the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000 and has been reviewed and approved by FEMA. Approving this resolution will allow the City of Muskogee to be eligible to apply for different grants, including hazard mitigation assistance grants. This plan will expire on April 16, 2029. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Any questions?
Move for approval. Second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve item number 22. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 22 passes. Item number 23.
Consider approval of resolution number 2997, a resolution approving and adopting an amendment to the Muskogee Medical Center Authority bylaws to allow trustees to serve 2 consecutive terms of 7 years each, and to allow trustees to reside outside the Muskogee city limits within 100 miles, or take other necessary action.
Ms. Bodenhammer?
Thank you. This is a resolution which adopts an amendment to the bylaws made by the Muskogee Medical Authority, which allows trustees to serve 2 consecutive terms of 7 years each and allows them to reside outside the Muskogee limits but within 100 miles. This amendment was brought about by the MMCA because they were having problems with vacancies and with a current board member moving outside city limits.
All right. We have the floor open for any discussion.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve item number 23. Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
No.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 23 passes. Item number 24.
Receive recognition from the Oklahoma State Department of Health for the Water Fluoridation Award, which was awarded to the City of Muskogee, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, thank you, Deputy Mayor. We have been nominated and received an award from the Oklahoma State Department of Health. I'm happy to turn it over to the Oklahoma State Department of Health to further discuss the award.
Good evening. My name is Nicole Reynolds, and as Director of the Dental Health Service at the Oklahoma State Department of Health, we are pleased to be here today. My colleagues in the Dental Health Service and the Muskogee County Health Department are proud to present the City of Muskogee with the 2023 Community Water Fluoridation 50-Year Award. This award is given jointly by the American Dental Association, the Association of State and Territorial Dental Directors, and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to recognize public water systems that have consistently adjusted the fluoride concentration in drinking water for the past 50 years, starting in 1973. For 2023, a total of 82 public water systems in 29 states received these awards, including 2 communities in Oklahoma.
As of 2020, over 209 million people in the U.S. that are served by community water systems had access to optimally fluoridated tap water. Fluoridated water from the Muskogee plant serves not only the city of Muskogee, but several other nearby towns and rural water districts within the county. ADA, ASTDD, and CDC salute the dedication and the perseverance of fluoridation pioneers and water system professionals in this community. Because of efforts like those in Muskogee, the prevention of tooth decay through community water fluoridation is recognized by the CDC as one of the 10 great achievements in public health of the 20th century. More than ever, we recognize the value of prevention, and we thank you for the role that you play in helping to prevent a disease that affects children and adults. Congratulations on this achievement, and thank you for providing safe, dependable drinking water for your community, while also assuring an important preventive health benefit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. If we pause at this time, we do have one citizen signed up to speak. We yield the floor at this time for Mr. Mike Gregg. Mr. Gregg, if you state your name, you have 5 minutes to address this item.
Michael Gregg, 4131 South Broad, here in Muskogee. I'm glad we received the award. One thing I'm concerned about is more information. I'm sure you can help me on this. Is that we've had trouble for almost 40 years plus on fluoridation. We've failed the federal standards for that. We all know that. We get letters from the water department on that. I'm still concerned about fluoridation because I know that in many cases, depending on who you talk to, CDC or FDA, EPA, or independent studies, there's great variance in what they believe fluoridation can do. It's good when it comes to cavities. There's no question about that. But the issue is the compounding of where we get other fluoride. And my question is, also with chlorination, but this is fluoride, so but they both fall in the old plant and the new plant. The old plant has failed on the summertime specifically. We put more chlorine in to offset what's in there that's not good, and we happen to fail that. I understand that. I'm hoping that the new system, the new plant, which will be years to come, I'm sure, will have a mechanism to eliminate that. My problem and concern is the compounding of where fluoride is. It's not only what we put in, it's in water normally, it's in foods, it's in other things too. So when you put an X amount through the system and the compounding of other things in there, I'm just concerned about, like, how do we control the amount, percent? I know there's a standard for that. So, but how do we control that if it gets out of whack? Do we have an automated system, manual system on off, safety measures where it's measured each one of these situations where we're injecting poisonous gases or liquids? How do we control that to be sure we don't have a problem? Is there any safety measure in the old or in the new system coming in the new plant? And that's my only question, is that we pay very close attention to what we're putting in the water, because the one with chlorine is cancer producing, and the one we have with fluorination, we get too much fluorine in the water. There are 7 very major areas, and some of them, especially for the ladies, deterioration of chlorine, deterioration of the calcium in the bones is a very important issue. Doctors or somebody else can address those issues, but I'm just concerned about measurement of how much we have and what kind of safety factors do we have in case a fail-safe system, if too much starts to go into the system. That's my only concern. And thank you for the time.
So I'd like to ask Mr. Stewart if he would to respond just as far as how our plant works. We have pretty stringent controls over what goes into the water.
So I'm going to ask Mr. Tingle to assist me.
Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah, he scooted up.
Mr. Tingle does a pretty good job in monitoring our water almost daily. And Kyle, would you kind of explain our sampling system? And before he does, Mr. Gregg, I would also invite you to come to our water plant. We'd be glad to give you a tour. We could arrange that, and we'll show you how we do all our checks and balances out there. We have a great staff, and they'll be glad to walk you through it.
So I'm Kyle Tingle, and I am the water analyst at the Muskogee Water Plant, and I test 4 samples every day from different locations on the fluoride, and that is how we regulate, just how much we have. We test what's coming in as far as in the raw water, to adjust how much is going out. So it's done every day, 7 days a week, 365. So that's how that's, and I do that personally. I do it every day. So
I hope that answered the question. We would, and again, Mike would be glad to take you out there. Give me your number and I'll set that up for you. And I'm sure
Thank you,
Kyle
Kyle.
will even take you on a little tour with him as well. He likes that.
Thank you. At this time, we'll yield the floor back to the Health Department representatives, Pastor Roger Cutler.
And so Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and Council, we would ask that you would come down and take a picture with us and any staff that is from the Water Department, if you would do that at this time. As its representatives, Deputy Mayor Reed, if you would come and receive this on behalf of the mayor and the city of Muskogee. All right. One moment, please, while I do it. Yes.
I will be on the wall up.
She's always trying to get in the picture. Look at her, get behind. Surgery.
All right. So that is item number 24. Item number 25, please.
Discuss and consider approval for the city manager to negotiate and execute a memorandum of agreement between the Oklahoma Department of Commerce, Seltzer Schaefer Architects, DBA Narrate, the City of Muskogee, and the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame, or take other necessary action.
All right. This sounds like we fit to get some good news for Ward 3. Jamie?
Yes, this is exciting news for Ward 3.
All right.
On behalf of the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame, we do have some board members and our executive director here tonight. We've been in conversations with the state of Oklahoma and the Lieutenant Governor, Matt Pinnell, for a little over a year now. And so this contract kind of starts a exciting project that will be announced in the next couple of weeks that we're excited to be doing here in Muskogee and over at the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Miller. And
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it, Councilor Stout. And I definitely appreciate our friends at the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame for working with this for potential substantial investment by the state into our community to improve one of our buildings and a historic building in the Depot District. And so what this MOU does is allows us to work together in a partnership with the Hall of Fame, with the state, and with their architect contractor to make this all happen over the coming weeks and months. And I understand there'll be some milestones and more specific things that we can announce as we get closer, but this really helps get us started and kicks off the project, and we're excited about it. We do recommend approval to negotiate and execute this memorandum of agreement with the Department of Commerce, with Narrate, and with the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame.
move for approval. Second it.
Have a motion and a second to approve this this item. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
C.B. Abel?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hoos?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 25 passes. Item number 26, please.
Consider approval for the Muskogee Police Department to purchase and install emergency equipment on 25 new police vehicles in the amount of $330,134.82 from Dana Safety Supply Incorporated under the Oklahoma State contract, or take other necessary action.
Chief Teehee.
Deputy Mayor and Council, this is a state contract item. I did the 25 Tahoes that we have ordered. Fingers crossed that we still get those. The actual bill date for those is today. We were looking for confirmation on that, but we still don't know about that. But when they do get here, we'll have equipment, and they will be installed by Dana.
Thank you.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item number 26. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
C.B. Abel?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hoos?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number 26 passes. Item number 27.
Consider approval of the appointment of Delby Walker to the Martin Luther King Community Trust Authority, filling the expiring term of Wanda Perkins beginning August 1, 2024, and ending on July 31, 2029, or take other necessary action. And for the record, this item should actually be Councilor Tracy Hoos, not Deputy Mayor Derek Reed's appointment.
Dr. Hoos.
Thank you. It's my honor to recommend Ms. Delby Walker to sit on the Martin Luther King Community Trust. With her experience and her knowledge and her familiarity already with the trust, she's going to be a great addition. And that's my motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for item number 27. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
C.B. Abel?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hoos?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Abstain. That item passes. Item number 28, please.
Discuss and consider approval of a memorandum of understanding with the Muskogee City County Port Authority for a sewer extension project in the South Side Industrial Park to be constructed with ARPA funds in the amount of $1,960,000 and authorize the city manager to negotiate and execute the same or take other necessary action.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, thank you, Deputy Mayor. We have before you that memorandum of understanding. It does allow us to work with Port Muskogee, who has been diligent in getting a grant to extend 3,800 feet of sewer line to the Southside Industrial Park, to land that is owned by the city of Muskogee. It's very important to development of that property. We're excited to be able to work with them on this, acknowledging through this memorandum of understanding that should this project go over the amount of the grant, that the city will be able to deal with that overage at that time and work with the council on that funding, but knowing that this is, the estimate is entirely funded through the ARPA grant. So we're excited by that and the partnership with Port Muskogee. We'll be happy to answer any questions, and we do recommend approval.
Thank you. Questions for Mr. Miller? Any motion or discussion?
Move for approval.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second for this item. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Melody Cranford?
Yes.
C.B. Abel?
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery?
Yes.
Tracy Hoos?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. All right. We do have several citizens that have signed up to speak. When I call your name, please take the podium and state your name, and you will have 3 minutes to address us. So first I will call to the podium Ms. Nina Ground. You have 3 minutes if you state your name.
Certainly agree with you. Give you all a little handout. I'm not going to read fast. I asked for 5 minutes, but I'll take the 3 and I can read fast. And I can be very loud, which is good, because we can't hear half of you up there. Okay, I'm sorry that we can't.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, can you correct it? My
Thank
printer
you.
ran out of ink. I printed so much information.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm just going to read it instead of talk to you about it, because a lot doesn't make sense, and I'm going to pray to the Father that I'm giving you wisdom for a safer and better future. Muskogee is a city in serious decline, and this is your fault. For example, the Monday evening meeting over the board request. Where were and why weren't our council people there, and why aren't the constituents being informed and gaining understanding how these bonds work? Who hires an outside firm to moderate such an important meeting? First we hear, you'll answer our questions in the order they're received, then we see the moderator flipping the questions to the bottom. You put posters up to show cities close by that use these bonds, which was like comparing an apple to a grapefruit based on their demographics and forgetting income levels, which show Muskogee to be a poor county. Here you are with hands out asking one of the 4 counties in Oklahoma to give out money, but you won't even answer our questions. You will declare a person who seeks to know your enemy. If you have looked at your own reports, then you know your math does not add up. As a matter of fact, it looks suspicious of mismanagement of funds and the possibility that you're hiding funds. So this brings us to a huge mega issue. That charter, originally from 1971, and I think you know about 6 years later you took another vote. It's number 1, unconstitutional. Number 2, the people were not properly informed or even represented by their elected. Let this be known tonight. The charter needs to be rescinded and revoked. Muskogee must go back to a government that is of the people, by the people, and for the people, okay? That is how America is to operate, and since we are now a republic, again, the charter cannot be tolerated. 30% of bond money is tolerated to be used for other purposes. That is something outside the mission. Why is the infrastructure being neglected year after year? You have had the same people in management positions, and look at who's benefited from this style of control over Muskogee. I think a third party as well as a forensic audit needs to happen to get to the bottom of these money questions we cannot get answers to. And what you serve up for the budget and spending doesn't make sense. Teachers, police, fire, and medical. I have 18 years with FEMA, TEMA, and Animal Emergency Response, as well as I'm Swift Water credentialed. We lose police officers regularly here for poor pay, and they receive handcuffs on them so they cannot do their job correctly. For example, if they are constantly not allowed to incarcerate criminals of all ages firing guns and keeping neighborhoods in fear for their lives, you don't have police. You allow firecrackers in this heat and dry climate. Here in the city, we should have designated areas and minors should be watched for that. How frightening is that? It's terrifying. And then we have veterans who have PTSD, and those explosions are absolutely terrifying to them. Where is the respect for their service? Our schools, you hire a superintendent from Broken Arrow that has had his hands in money that was not his to touch. What has he done for the children in our school? I can answer that.
Thank you, Ms. Nene. I apologize, but your time is up.
Am I going to get cut off?
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry I have to cut you off at this point. Thank you for your comments.
That's all right, because I'm at every plaza, I'm at every gas
Thank you, ma'am.
station. I spend a lot of my money, and I want an audit. I want a forensic
Thank you, ma'am.
audit, and we need to get the government back to the people.
Our next speaker is Mr. Dan Chapowski. Now, I apologize if I pronounced it wrong. Chikakis.
You got the first name right.
Okay, Dan.
Mr. Chakakis, if you could
You have
pull
3
the
minutes,
microphone
sir.
up to you. These are new. It's hard to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Dan Chapkowskis. I reside at 519 North Country Club Road here in Muskogee. I was born and raised here in Muskogee for the most part. I'm trying to bring some sanity to something that's been going on, the GO bond. I know that this took place last week. I was out of town, I couldn't attend. But something that I wanted to either, one, make sure it was on record, or two, possibly get some explanation of why we're doing what we're doing and at this particular moment. As most of you are fully aware, that we are in, for most part, a recession in this country. Things are not very good. The timing aspect of passing a bond is not for the betterment of the city when you put people out of work. When we do a property tax assessment and raise this, we're causing inflation within our economy. That inflation, people talk about property taxes going up. It's really, they think about just their homes. But what about the businesses? What happens if one of those 20 people or 20 industries out there that pays 38% of all of our taxes moves out? What's going to happen? We're going to have those obligations that have to be met by other individuals. So what I'm interested in as a proposal is, why don't we look at something like a penny sales tax? The state of Oklahoma, the legislature has just given you a get out of jail free, a golden ticket, if you will, where they have rescinded the sales tax on groceries. It was about 4.5%. We can utilize that money, or we can just pass a 1-cent sales tax. A 1-cent sales tax over that same period of time of 25 years would produce about roughly $80 million. a lot more than what you're asking for, and you wouldn't feel it, and you would have people who would participate in it that are actually coming through our city. They would actually contribute to the things that we're asking. If we don't do something to correct these issues, all of these issues that you've got, or all these things on the agenda that you want to accomplish are good. But we've created a situation where you can't even question those things. It's kind of akin to something saying, have you quit beating your wife yet? You know, you can't say one way or the other. Well, we've got a situation, we need to have open dialogue. So what I would like to ask of the council is to rethink this issue. This issue is being run down the throats of the people in Muskogee, and they're pushing back. You're going to have one shot at this, and if you miss it, it's done. So I'd ask you to look at this again, to pull back, take your foot off the gas for just a minute, and open up for public dialogue and get other information out there. There are other solutions to raising this money. And so I would implore you to actually look at
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We have one more speaker, Mr. Mark Hughes. If you'll take the stand at this time, you have 3 minutes to address us.
Mark Hughes, 907 Yeltsin Drive. I'm here to talk about State Statute 11-9-104. It reads, "The mayor shall preside at meetings of the council and shall certify to the correct enrollment of all ordinances and resolutions passed by it. The mayor is not considered a member of the council for quorum or voting purposes, except that he may vote on questions under consideration by the council only when the council is equally divided." Now, why is that important? Because the city charter says absolutely nothing about whether or not this mayor can vote or whether or not he can be counted towards a quorum. So, in Martin versus City of Tulsa 2020, the Oklahoma Supreme Court ruled this case clarified that when a city charter is silent on an issue and there is a state law addressing that issue, the state law prevails. So, let's look at it this way. The citizen of Muskogee has to obey ordinances passed by the city. And now we're asking you guys to take a real hard look at this. And if Katrina agrees that it's legal, that you all comply with state law. Because the city charter says that the city council will comply with all state statutes or state laws. So here's the conundrum we're going to be in, is that if you don't comply with the law, then you're going to have the mind for the city council being rules for thee, but not for me. So I would ask you once again, please consider that this law needs to be complied with unless there is for some strange reason, a reason why you shouldn't be, and the reason that is legally why you cannot comply with this law. And if so, I'd like to know about it. Thank you.
Katrina, would you like to make a comment?
Yes, I would. I would like to point out, Mr. Hughes is citing a statute that references an aldermanic town. For that form of government, we are a charter town, and we are a city manager type. We have different rules for that. We also have provisions in our charter so that we are doing this correctly. But I would be happy to meet with Mr. Hughes and go over this with him.
Thank you. Item number 29, please.
Consider an executive session to discuss and take possible action on the following. A, pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss negotiations with the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge Number 95, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session. B, pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss negotiations with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, excuse me, Local Number 2465, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session. C, pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss negotiations with the International Association of Firefighters, Local Number 57, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session. D, pursuant to Section 307C11, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to confer on matters pertaining to an economic development project, including the possible transfer of real property in the northwest quadrant of the city, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session. E, pursuant to Section 307B4, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss pending litigation that has been brought against the city in case number CV 2024393, Save the Muskogee Hospital, Inc. versus the City of Muskogee, Oklahoma, a municipality, Muskogee Medical Center Authority, and Oklahoma Public Trust, DBA Muskogee Regional Medical Center, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session. And I'm sorry, I have to take a drink. F, pursuant to Section 307B4, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss 3 lawsuits styled England versus City of Muskogee, case number CV 200720, Lacey v. City of Muskogee, case number CV 20071377, and Taft v. City of Muskogee, case number CJ 2007-1410, filed in the District Court in and for Muskogee County, Oklahoma, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session. G, pursuant to Section 307B4, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss the workers' compensation claim number 10-23-6, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session. H, pursuant to Section 307B4, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss potential litigation related to the City of Muskogee River Country Water Park renovation project, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session. I, pursuant to Section 307C11, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss matters pertaining to the proposed economic development project located in the Port of Muskogee, including an incentive request, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session.
Thank you. I would now entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go into executive session. Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale. Yes. Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. We are now considered in executive session. We ask all those who are not party to please leave the chambers at this time. We will now consider ourselves back from executive session. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Here.
Jamie Stout. Here. Tracy Hoos.
Here.
Shirley Hilton Flannery. Here. C.B. Abel. Here. Melody Cranford. Here. Dan Hall.
Present.
Tom Martindale.
Here.
Executive items, please.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Item 29, Section A, pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, Council did convene an executive session to discuss negotiations with the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge number 95, and an appropriate motion will be to authorize the mayor to execute the MOU as discussed in executive session.
Have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes, that item passes. Next item, please.
Pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, Council did convene an executive session to discuss negotiations with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Local Number 2465. An appropriate motion would be to authorize the mayor to execute the MOU as discussed in executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve item number B. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
MOU for B passes. Item number C, please.
Pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25 Oklahoma statute, council did convene an executive session to discuss negotiations with the International Association of Firefighters, Local Number 57. An appropriate motion would be to authorize the mayor to execute the MOU as discussed in executive session.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve C. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item number C passes. Item D, please.
Pursuant to 307C11, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, council did convene an executive session to confer on matters pertaining to an economic development project, including the possible transfer of real property in the northwest quadrant of the city. An appropriate motion would be to authorize the city manager to negotiate and execute the agreement for the economic development project as discussed in executive session.
Move forward.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item D. Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item D passes. Item C.
Pursuant to Section 307B4, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, council did convene an executive session to discuss pending litigation that has been brought against the city in case number CV 2024-393, Save the Muskogee Hospital, Inc. versus the City of Muskogee, Oklahoma, etc., and there is no action required on this item.
No action for E. Item F, please.
Pursuant to Section 307B4, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, council did convene an executive session to discuss 3 lawsuits styled England v. City of Muskogee, Lacey v. City of Muskogee, and Taft v. City of Muskogee, filed in the District Court in and for Muskogee County, and no action is required on this item.
No action for F. Item G, please.
Pursuant to Section 307B4, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, council did convene an executive session to discuss the workers' compensation claim number 10-23-6. And an appropriate motion will be to authorize the city attorney to negotiate and settle the claim as discussed in executive session.
Looking for a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for item G. Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item G passes. Item H.
Pursuant to Section 307B4, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, council did convene an executive session to discuss potential litigation related to the City of Muskogee River Country Water Park renovation project, and the city attorney received direction, and as appropriate motion would be to authorize the city attorney to proceed as discussed in executive session.
Move for approval.
Second.
Item H has a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item H passes. Item I.
Pursuant to Section 307C11, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, council did convene an executive session to discuss matters pertaining to a proposed economic development project located in the Port of Muskogee, including an incentive request, and an appropriate motion would be to authorize the mayor to execute the agreement as discussed in executive session.
Move for approval.
Second.
Item I has a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Tom Martindale.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Melody Cranford.
Yes.
C.B. Abel.
Yes.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes. Item I passes, and that is our final item, and we are adjourned for tonight.